Good morning. So, we are continuing where we left yesterday, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We were doing chapter 17 and we had done two issues. One was about the sacrifice, which we did in the later half, and the earlier issue was regarding the food. So, both these things, that is food as well as the sacrifice, both these comprise of the sattva, rajas and tamoguna. So all these gunas are there. Today we are going to do another important topic, that is called penance. So we will start from verse 14 onwards. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 17 verse 14. Worship of gods, the Brahmanas, one's guru, elders and great souls, purity, straightforwardness, continence and non-violence. These are called penance of the body. Now, if you Google or if you go to any dictionary and look at the word penance, what does this word penance actually tell you? Now, penance according to the Western countries is all about being sorry for something and then repenting for the acts that you have done. Isn't it? You say sorry to God and say, I'm sorry I did this and I'm repenting for it, and you torture yourself up so much that you feel by torturing yourself or putting yourself through a grinder, you are going to be free from all the karma, all the sins that you have done. Let us try to understand whether this penance, which is mentioned in the Western literature and by the Westerners, according to all the dictionary meanings possible in the world, does that actually mean what Krishna is saying? See, if I do wrong to someone, let us say I am doing wrong to another person. That person was supposed to get my oxygen cylinder. Today the coronavirus is there, and naturally everybody is seeking that rare commodity, which is the oxygen cylinder or the injection, the vaccine that is there. So people, what are they doing? They are holding vaccines. All these doctors and all these people across India, they are only trying to give them to people whom they know. That these kind of things happen. Now let us say there was one oxygen cylinder and I took it. And because I took it, the other person's relative, whoever it might be, his father, mother or whoever, is not able to use it. And because of that, that person dies. Alright? Now I have taken it for my own mother. Right? I have literally paid through my nose for that cylinder. Now, what happens afterwards? I feel remorse. I feel that I have done something wrong. And because of that, I want to repent for my actions. And because I have to repent for my actions, I do penance. I try to help some people, some other people. Maybe I give them money, or maybe I give them food packets, all kinds of things. Does that repayment, this kind of penance that I do, offset the sin that I might have committed? I want you to think about it. Does it offset? Does the penance actually offset what wrong I have done to the other person? Let us reverse the roles. Let us reverse the roles and see for yourself. You are searching very hard for a cylinder, and there was one cylinder available over there, and you go to that person and you say, I will pay you so much. But suddenly another person comes over there and that person pays twice the amount of what you are paying. You you know you are trying to tell him, please try to understand. My mother is very sick. You have to give me this. The other person says, no, you don't understand. My father is very sick. I have to take this cylinder. And by the power of his money, he is able to take it away. And because you don't have that oxygen cylinder, your mother dies. Now, that other person feels the remorse after some time and tries to come to you and pacify you and say, I will give you money, or I'm very sorry I did this. Will you forgive that person? I'm sure you won't. Today there are so many cases. Because of social media, there are so many cases that are coming in the forefront where a young actress is coming out and saying that, this director, this producer, this actor raped me, did this to me, did that to me. Or there are youngsters who are molested by their own relatives. If that relative is feeling that penance and saying, I'm very sorry I did this, I did not realize, I did not understand. Will you forgive if you have lost what you had? I'm sorry, you will never forgive that person, because what you have lost is greater thing. You feel it is the biggest thing in the world. You have lost your innocence. You have lost your mother also. Now, can you forgive anybody? You will say, I am not Jesus Christ. I am not Buddha. I am not going to forgive you. The other person says, but I have done so much of penance. I have gone to the church. I have done this. I have given free food to people. There is an actor who killed a couple of people on the road. And in the future, he has become a great actor and he gives food packets, he has given house to somebody, he has given money to someone, he has tried to save somebody's life. Another actress's mother was lying in the hospital. He gave that lady a lot of care and she was in cancer-ridden patient. Does that offset those people who died? It doesn't. So the idea of penance is wrong. As per the way they think in the Western world, it is not correct. Penance has nothing to do with feeling sorry. Please understand this. It has nothing to do with feeling that, that I am not able to, I want to repent and I want to mortify my body. I want to do so much so that I can overcome my issues, whatever wrong that I have done. But that is not correct. You got what I am saying? So there has to be another meaning. And that is exactly what Krishna is talking about. Penance has everything to do with spirituality. You have a body. Please understand, you have a body which you have got from Mother Nature, Prakriti. This body has come from Prakriti. And because this body has come from Prakriti, it comes with a lot of defects. Alright? The divine one which is inside of you. In the previous verse he has said, isn't it? That I live inside of you. Krishna has said these words. The divine one which is staying in this house, which is called the body. What are you supposed to do to the body so that the great Lord can reside in this? That is your Jivatma, which is inside of this body. So the cleanup action is very important. Purification of the place is very important. This body is a house, is a container. And if the container has certain defects in it, maybe it was filled with liquor, And now you want to fill it with Ganga Jal. Doesn't that tell you how can you fill it with Ganga Jal? First you have to remove even that little smell of that liquor also. It has to be thoroughly cleaned. So penance actually means making this body fit for God. And that is the cleaning process that you do. So penance in the Western world has a totally different meaning. You cannot do anything for whatever wrong you have done. In this aspect, Krishna is saying penance is that where you purify the body. This body is extremely rare phenomena which you have got. It's a container. It's like a house. And you want the divine Lord to stay in it. Can you give him a dirty house? No. You have to give the Lord the best accommodation possible. So first you got to clean this house. So how do you clean it? Do you remember? If you go to a new place to stay, let us say you are shifting residences, all right? Now you're going to a new place to stay. What is it that the first thing that you will do? You will clean it thoroughly, isn't it? And after that you will have a puja. You will have a prayer over there. You will call on the gods and say to them, please help me set up this place nicely so that I can live over here with my family happily. So you perform graha puja. That is, when you are coming into a house, you do the puja. Exactly that. So first it is called worship of gods. You have to worship the gods first because the gods are going to stay inside this body. They have to have a good place. They stay in different locations. Like in the new house that you go to, the gods are going to stay in different locations. In one place, the fire god stays, where your kitchen is, isn't it? Right? So like that. There will be another place which is going to be the bedroom. There is going to be another place which is the entrance, so on and so forth. We have 10 different directions. And in these directions, every god stays. So we have to welcome those gods. So first we have to worship the gods so that they can come to that place. So worshipping the gods is necessary. Then comes the Brahmanas. Who are the Brahmanas? The person who is coming and doing those prayers over there. The Brahmanas are the knowers of Brahma. They are the spiritual masters. They are the great ones. So we praise them. Then one's own guru. Now you may have your guru or you may not have a guru. Doesn't matter. If you have a spiritual master, then you have to see to it that you worship him. Worshipping the guru is extremely important. Before the start of any new enterprise, whatever you do, it could be even, you are going to start laying the foundation of a place, or you are going to move into a new house, or you are going to clean your body, whatever it is. Worshipping these three are very important. Then worship the elders. The elders and the great souls. Some people who might have died, your forefathers as we call them. So you call on your forefathers and say, please help me clean this place up. I want you to come to me so that, I can be very happy. Give me your blessings. So the elders and the dead people also, all those who have gone away. Purity. You have to bring in the purity, which means purifying the place is so important. What do we do? When we start a puja, before a person starts the puja, do you know what they do? First and foremost, they take water. And with the water, they wash the hands. The water could have a little Ganga in it, so Ganga water is there, so they will wash the hands. Okay? After that, they will take the water 3 times and they will drink it, which means cleaning your mouth. Your mouth is dirty. You please understand this. The words that come from your mouth are always very bad. You say a lot of wrong things throughout the day. So your mouth has to be purified. So after you clean your hands, you clean your mouth, and you clean the surroundings around you. That is what is called making it pure. So purity is important. And straightforwardness. You cannot have a person, the Brahmana that is sitting, or you, or the people who are there, those who are sitting for the puja, you cannot have them thinking about wrong things. Let us say your forefathers are, now you are doing a Bhumi puja. Bhumi puja means a puja of the Bhumi. Bhumi means earth. Now you have taken a patch of land and you are doing a puja over there. And you are calling on all the gods and everybody, the Brahmanas, the gods, the land, the earth itself, all the gods you have called, and you are doing all those things. But there is a forefather of yours, a great grandfather, who was very angry because the property was given to the wrong person. See this. The property was given to the wrong person, or you have bought the property from another person and that person has sold it by deceit to you. Now that person is angry with you. That other person is angry with you, or maybe your forefather is angry with you. Or the person who is sitting over there for the puja, that person is angry with you. Because he thinks or she thinks you don't deserve to be over here. I am doing it out of favor. At such point in time, there is no straightforwardness in the whole approach. The whole action goes to waste. Now think about your own self, your own body. If you have ill thoughts, if you are not straightforward, if you are carrying any guilt, if you are carrying any kind of bad kind of feelings for somebody, and then you are doing something, this body can never become pure. How can God come and stay there? How can Krishna be there? So any ill will or any wrongdoing or any kind of activity which is not conducive to you happens, then that feeling is remaining. How can the body become pure? And this is the reason. So here Krishna says is straightforwardness is very, very important. The next word he says is continence. Continence means people are used to having relationship with others, isn't it? Whether it's a legitimate relationship or an illegitimate relationship, whatever relationship that you have. When you have those relationships, you will find that your body fluids are going out. See, since I am addressing people, those who will find this very offensive, that is why I am not naming anything over here. Please understand. Those who are intelligent enough will understand what I am talking about. All the bodily fluids which seep out of your body, they cause problems. It is mentioned in the scriptures that once a man and a woman, when they are in a family and they have 1 or 2 children, they have to after that live more like brother and sister rather than husband and wife. This is what even Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to say. Why? Because whatever that energy that you had, you have already invested it. Pleasure is not the criteria. So continence is required because you should not be pleasuring. So you have to have the continence. These desires are petty desires of the body after a certain age. After you have used up your body for certain purposes, then all these desires which come to you are petty in nature. You are supposed to now take care of your children and look after the family properly. In case of spiritual, you have to clean the body of all those wrong thoughts. So you should have continence. You should not allow any seepage or exiting of your bodily fluids, which you will understand what I'm talking about. And then the last one he says is non-violence. Non-violence means never become violent in whichever way. Words, action, deeds, never be violent. Because that causes a lot of trauma in your future. It means you're gathering a lot of negativism and the future karma is on. So that doesn't happen, you have to ensure that you are not getting into any kind of violent nature. Violence can be just of anger also. A person can get angry and say, I'll slap you. That kind of a thing also is anger. I don't know whether you know that both these actions are culpable actions, even in the law. Do you know this? Even if you say words or you raise a hand, and you may not strike a person, you may not strike the person. If you strike a person, that is called battering. Battery. That is culpable, highly culpable. But even if you raise your hand, or you say certain bad words, or you threaten a person, it's a culpable action. The person can go to jail. So now do you understand violence of any kind, including the bad mouthing or bad words which flow from your mouth, are culpable actions. So most important, Krishna says, you have to clean your body of all kinds of violent deeds and actions and words. Never become violent in any which way. So non-violence is important. All these things, worship of God, worship of the Brahmanas, worship of one gurus, elders, great souls, purity, straightforwardness, continence and non-violence, these are called penance of the body. So I have given you the explanation of what it means to purify this body so that it is ready to receive the Lord. Got it? I hope you understood. It has nothing to do with feeling sorry for someone. It has nothing to about torturing your body. People feel that torturing our body is what is called penance. No, sir. Alright, so now let us go to the next verse. So we had done penance. Now penance of the body we had done. Now the next one we are going to do is called penance of the speech, which I covered a little bit in the previous chapter, in the previous verse also. Let us say what it says. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 15. Words which cause no annoyance to others and are truthful, agreeable and beneficial, as well as the study of the Vedas and other Shastras and the practice of the chanting of the divine name, this is known as penance of speech. Penance of speech doesn't mean that I'm sorry, I want to tell you this is... No. That is Western way of looking at it. That is not called penance according to Krishna. Krishna says words. You have to speak words which are agreeable to everyone. People have this understanding. I want to point out that this is going to harm the other person, so I will try to stop that person from doing something. And the person uses harsh words. Don't do this. I told you not to do this. You know that kind of words. No. Your words which you speak from your mouth has to be agreeable. They have to do not annoy another person. Got it? Your words have to be very, very sweet. If you do not clean your tongue, do you remember in the previous verse I had said, first you have to clean your hands and second you have to clean your tongue. Tongue is the organ which we use for purpose of speech, and this is called the penance of speech. If you want to progress on the path of spiritual, your words have to be very, very sweet. Reprimanding another person or saying something wrong to the person is not correct. No, there is no need. In my world, I don't give anybody a permission to go and trash another person. Never. On the contrary, I will say the same thing nicely. Because if you say the same thing without annoyance and which will cause no problem to that other person, when the other person listens to your words, the person should feel nice, not get irritated or upset because you are saying certain bad words or you are saying a wrong language. So language is extremely important. A few days ago, I was doing a wonderful, book in which this was written some 4,000 years ago. In that, the whole chapter was on speech. How is a person supposed to speak? Now imagine, even during that time it was written why speech is so critical, so important for everybody. And here he says words which cause no annoyance to other and are truthful. The words have to be always truthful. We should never tell lies. If you want to do penance of speech, never ever tell lies. Your words have to be truthful. But truthful to what extent? It should not harm another person, or your word should not hurt another person. People say, I was telling the truth, I don't care whether it hurts you or no. No, I'm sorry, you are not allowed to speak like that. Krishna is saying, truthful, and the words have to be agreeable. They have to be very, very kind, very good. You have to be very compassionate in what you speak. You cannot use harsh language. You cannot reprimand. You cannot speak bad language at all. No bad words. People have this habit of saying, Jesus Christ. What do you mean by the word Jesus Christ? So please remember one thing. You are saying it in a very derogatory fashion. No, don't take the name of God. Rama, look at him, what he is doing. No, don't misuse that word over there. People say, Krishna, Krishna, look at him. No, you have to use the word properly. Never say irresponsible things. Say that which is truthful, agreeable, and that which is beneficial to mankind. What is beneficial? Something which will benefit everybody, including you. You want your work done, you are working in a factory or a company or you are a boss of someone. You cannot reprimand another person. Likewise, you are not supposed to do any wrong activity. Never. So, as well as study of the Vedas and other Shastras, we have to study the scriptures, come whatever may. You may not understand Sanskrit, but at least you understand English. If you understand English, you are listening to my satsang in English just now. I don't understand Sanskrit. I don't understand the way it is pronounced or spoken or written. No, I don't understand Sanskrit at all. But the same thing, if it is written in English, I will understand that. That is the language I learned. So that is why you have to study the Vedas and the good scriptures that are there from the past, the Shastras that are there. And always practice chanting the divine name. Which means what? A little bit, there was a very funny situation was there. One of our disciples, he listened to a foreigner. This is an American person and he doesn't know to pronounce the words. So instead of saying Krishna, Ram, Rama, Krishna, the way they roll their tongue and speak. So this Indian fellow is saying Rama, Rama, some kind of a very weird way of saying Rama, Rama. That's it. You can pronounce the word properly, isn't it? Why are you pronouncing it in some other manner? So taking the divine name, that is chanting the divine name correctly, is important. So you have to practice the chanting of the divine name. It is written in the Bible also that if you can pronounce the name of God, Almighty God, properly, the way it is, the divine Lord will stand in front of you. But till today, nobody has been able to pronounce the name properly. Same way, if you say Rama, 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 if the way you roll your tongue, the way you say, do you really feel Rama is going to come and stand in front of you? Krishna, Krishna, the way everybody talks. No. Say it correctly. If you can't say, shut up. You can ask your guru. You can ask some knowledgeable people how to say the word. Maybe someday you will get it right. But chanting the name of the divine is very important. That way your speech becomes purified. Body purification is over. Now speech purification, that is also over. Got it? So what is it that we did? Words which do not annoy another person. They got to be truthful, agreeable, beneficial. And then you have to study the Vedas and the Shastras and practice chanting of Lord's name. This way you can do the penance of speech. So penance of speech doesn't mean going and saying sorry for some wrong action you have done. Cleaning your mouth is very important. Now, we come to the third aspect of penance. Let us see. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 16. Cheerfulness of the mind, placidity, habit of contemplation on God, control of the mind, and the perfect purity of inner feelings, this is called austerity of the mind. So first we clean the body, then we clean the tongue, next we have to clean the mind. How do you clean the mind? You have to have cheerfulness of the mind. The cheerfulness has to be felt by you. Someone spoke to me. If I am angry, if I know that person is doing wrong and I can see the wrong, how can I be cheerful? How can I not feel that, anger or pain or whatever? No. You have to be desireless. You have to be detached. If you are a spiritual person, you cannot see the right and the wrong in this world, sir. You have to have equanimity of mind. Everybody is driven by their nature. You cannot make judgments on other people, which means you cannot say that that person has done wrong. No. In whatever circumstances that you are in, you should still have the cheerfulness of the mind. Only when you are cheerful can you have those happy hormones flowing through your body. You know, the reason why happy hormones have to flow through your body is so that you do not have any issues. You can straight away go into spiritual. Got it? So cheerfulness of the mind. Your mind has to be constantly cheerful. Never sway from this cheerfulness, even for a moment. Yes, there may be the biggest problem happening in your world. Somebody is dying, somebody is sick, somebody has some problem, something has gone wrong, you might have lost your job, there may be no money. But that should not deter you. It is a temporary thing, a small temporary blip. Become cheerful because the future is there right round the corner. And if the future is going to be good, you cannot become morose. You cannot become sad and, oh, what's going to happen? I don't know. No. Be cheerful. Everything is good. I lost my parents. And when I went for my father's funeral and my mother's as well, I was very cheerful. Now somebody asked me, how can you be so smiling and happy and cheerful? Your mother and father are dead, My father died many years ago and mother died recently. So I said, I am happy that this body, this person, my father, is now got a release from these material worldly issues. And he is gone to meet his father in heaven. And my mother, who is now dead, she has got a release from her body. She is going back to her mother and father in heaven. They are waiting to welcome her. And they say, I'm so happy to see you. So should I be feeling sad or should I be feeling happy about it? Think about it. Now, if you are a grown-up person and if your daughter comes to you, now she has got married and she's staying somewhere and now she's coming to meet you, are you going to be happy or sad? Naturally, you will be happy. Your son has gone abroad for studies. He's coming back. Aren't you going to be happy? Of course you will be happy. And that is the reason why cheerfulness should always be there. What are you talking about when you feel that, something wrong has happened? There is nothing wrong happening in this world. Yes, people are dying, the whole world is coming to an end, or God knows all those things are there. The whole world is going for a toss. Yes, there is going to be a hole in the atmosphere, the environment problem is there, the issues are... Hey, tell me when it was not there. It was always there. Today is nothing new. Problems are different. That time it was different, today it is different. Those who have outlived the world wars will say, World War was a terrible thing. Prior to that, they will say, plague was very bad. Prior to that, they will say, the Industrial Revolution. And before that, the king was bad, the queen was bad. I mean, is there any time when there was no problem? Here we are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita. What is Krishna talking about? Problems were there even for Arjuna during that time, isn't it? Yesterday I was listening to one idiot talking. He was saying, we are going to a better place. You understand? We are going to a place where everything is going to be so happy and beautiful. I was wondering, what is this guy talking about? And this interview was more than 2 years old. And I was listening to the interview. I said that person should listen to himself now. Pandemic is there. What happiness are you talking about? Your whole place is in ruins. Anybody who is trying to peddle you happiness that way, that person is an idiot. Don't fall for it. Somebody who says you do yogasana, pranayama, this, that, wellness and happiness and all, tell them something. My father is dead just now. I am very happy. It doesn't work, right? My mother is fallen sick because of the coronavirus. If you think your yogasana and all is going to help just now, it doesn't help. So it is nothing to do with all these external gymnastics that a person does. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do everything with the mind. And that is why Krishna is saying, first purify your body, second purify your speech, and third purify your mind. Purification of mind makes it, first you got to have cheerfulness of the mind. Of course there are going to be problems, don't worry about it. In that, your mind should be placid, peaceful at all times. Why? Do you think these problems were never there? They're always going to be there. Paucity of funds, lack of issues, there is no water, there is no this thing, there is no that thing. Everything. Do you think it is not there? Your forefathers also went through the same nonsense. But if you're going through it, you have to go through it. And if you go through it, have the placidity of the mind. There is nothing. Okay, I have to face it. I have to face it, period. I have to face the situations. Today morning I was reading about a person, a young boy, who committed suicide in the Indian Institute of Science. Why? Because he didn't get admission abroad. He wanted to go for studies abroad. So he committed suicide because he couldn't get. Why is he doing that? There is no placidity in the mind, that is why. All these big institutions, they do not teach about this kind of things. The spiritual master who is there teaches you this. Overcome your mind. Which means you have to be constantly in a state of cheerfulness. Yesterday I was reading that there is a pharmacy group in America, United States. And they are all going to have psychiatrists and psychologists and all those people in their pharmacy. Why? Because everybody is having a problem with their mind. For stupid things they will go and pop pills. It is not needed. Just have belief and faith in God. That is all. Listen to what Krishna says. The placidity of the mind. Habit on contemplation on God. These people don't believe in God. So they pop pills thinking that, oh, I am taking this, oh, I am taking that, so I am going to be fine. You think popping pills is going to make you become fine? On the contrary, you are going to be addicted to it. Constant addiction is going to, the companies, the pharmaceutical companies are going to make money out of you. You are an idiot of the first order. And all these quacks that are there, they are going to make money out of it. Isn't it funny? Oh, I have an appointment. Okay, I have to go. For what? I have an appointment with my shrink. For what reason, sir? I have to go and blow my trumpet over there. And that fellow only sits with one book and writes down. What is he doing? I don't understand. And later on he gives his very valid opinions. What exactly is wrong with them? I am not poo-pooing that psychology and all those kind of things. Everything has to do with the mind, isn't it? And here he's talking about the mind. Habit on contemplation on God. You have to make it a habit, constant habit of thinking about God. Placidity of the mind will come, sir. Control of mind and perfect purity of inner feelings. Controlling the mind, not allowing it to fall down at any point in time. You see, you are used to doing all kinds of things. Smoking, drinking, this, that, all those things. And previously I was talking about body fluids and all that kind of thing. Why do you have the lust and the greed? What is the need? I mean, what are you actually looking for? 2 minutes or 1 minute of pleasure? Or maybe 5 minutes of smoking pleasure? Is that what you're looking for? How petty are you? Nursing the drink for 1 hour, 2 hours and eating all kinds of crap, and that you think is going to give you happiness and is going to ease your mind? You're the biggest stupid person on planet Earth. There is no need. That is why Krishna says over here, control your mind. Why do you get upset? Why do you get angry? When you have God filled in your mind, there is no anger, there is nothing, there is always placidity. Perfect purity of inner feelings. The inner feelings have to be very pure. You should not have a twisted ideas in your mind. Don't have that twisted things in your mind. Oh, that person is like that, so I will also become like that. Let the other person do what they want. Why are you bothered? If you have a person in your life, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your father or mother or your own children or whoever they might be, those people have a twisted mind. They always want to say something wrong, do something wrong, and always are in that mind state of theirs. Why do you have to get involved in it? Why are you like them? Don't become like them. Don't try to give them back. No. There is no need. Have the perfect purity of the mind. The inner feelings have to be pure. Let the other person do what he wants. You don't do anything wrong. You have to be your good self. I hope you understand this. And that is the reason why you should never bother yourself with what others are doing. You be good. Got it? So, this is called austerity of the mind. So now, we are going to the next verse. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 17. This threefold penance performed with supreme faith by yogis, expecting no return, is called sattvic. Here Krishna is saying these three things. First was connected to the body, second was to the speech, third one was to the mind. These three kinds of penances which you will do in your life. These three penances which you perform with absolute faith in God. Have this faith in God. Faith in Krishna, the Supreme Divine Consciousness. He is the ultimate. When you have faith in Him and you do this, with no returns, no expectations of any kind. Don't have this expectation. Krishna, I am doing this for you. Expectation. I want to be with you because of that. No. Don't have even that expectation. Then it is called sattvic kind of penance. So did you understand that? The penance which is like that, which is done by these three things. First, right? The three kinds of penances, not the ones which the Western world thinks about, right? The first penance is clean up of the body, cleaning the mind, cleaning your tongue, and cleaning the mind. These three things will then, with absolute faith in the divine and having no expectation of any kind, no returns expected from God, then it is called sattvic penance. Got it? So we go to the next verse now. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 18. The austerity which is performed for the sake of renown, honor or adoration, as well as for any other selfish gain, either in all sincerity or by way of ostentation, and yields an uncertain and a momentary fruit, has been spoken of here as rajasic. The penance which is done for the sake, you do those torturing yourself and doing all kinds of things so that the other people will look at this guy. He's been sitting over here for 5 hours. He has not moved an inch. What? So that the other people come and praise you? Is that the reason why you're doing this? You have seen people, they will do puja. As if, and they will look around. Who is looking? Who is watching me? This kind of penance done for performance purposes. You want to perform for the sake of something. What is the sake? Renown. You'll bring one big heart. You'll do all kinds of things. Climb the mountains. Why? That's a penance I am doing. To the body, see? I climbed the whole mountain. I paid for so much. I wanted to go to that Char Dham Yatra. I went by helicopter. Once in a lifetime you should visit all these Char Dhams. I traveled those 23 kilometers or miles or whatever that is with just one stick. I went to Mount Kailash. I touched Mount Kailash. I was so happy. Did you see Shiva over there? The funny part is this. They do extreme penance of this kind, the Westerner kind. That has no value, sir. No Shiva is ever going to be pleased with what you do. The austerity which you do for the performance of renown, honor or adoration, you do it so that you get honored. Kailash Yatra karke aaye. You went for a Kailash Yatra and you came back. What is the point? So that people will adore you, admire you. This kind. Or if there is any selfish gain means what? Oh, I went to this mountain and I did this pradakshana so that I can get money, I can get power, I can become famous. You have seen those dudes, who will go along with, a droll crowd of theirs, stopping at every place, taking pictures and this and that, and then posting it. What are they doing it for? For YouTube, Instagram, Facebook? There is no sincerity in these people actually. You have to do it because there are no gains. There should be no gain whatsoever. And you have to do it with sincerity, but not with any ostentations. No ostentations. You cannot have any kinds of ostentation shown. Oh, I was carrying this and I did this and I did. No. And the yields are uncertain and momentary fruit. What it gives you is a momentary fruit. The momentary fruit will be, oh, I fulfilled my wishes. I went to the Char Dhams. I did this. I did that. Momentarily you are going to be happy. After that what? All this that I said is called Rajasic kind of a penance. Got it? We are doing the next one. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 17 verse 19. Penance which is resorted out of foolish obstinacy and is accompanied by self-mortification or is intended to harm others. Such a penance has been declared as tamasic. If you are doing your silence vrata that you are doing, people go and do this kind of things. I am going to be in silence. I am going to be eating only this kind of a food. I will not eat this and I will not drink that and I can't do this and I can't. They are torturing their body. And they are doing it for what? Self-mortification. So that their body gets upset. Remember, penance of the body I had already told you in the beginning. Right? It started with praising the gods. Right? Then it is praising the realized beings, Brahmanas. Then it is praising your guru. You remember that, no? Or have you completely forgotten? If you are doing something for self-mortification, oh, I am doing upvas. I'm doing, I'm not going to eat for a very long time. I'm not going to drink water. And I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be in Maun Vrata for the next 10 days. Penance of speech also I did just now. Did you not listen to it? If you haven't listened, go back and listen. And there are the people who are total dolts and idiots who will say, oh, I did not speak for 10 days. I did this, I did that. Sorry, sir. That is not required of you. The penance of your speech is given over here by Krishna, not what you are doing. That is called self-mortification. Foolish obstinacy. I will do this because it is required of me to do. I have been doing it for last so many years. 3 years I did. Now I want to do it once again. You're an obstinate fool. Why do you need to do this? This accompanied by self-mortification. It is actually supposed to be doing harm to yourself. It harms other people. This kind of a penance if you do, it is called tamasic penance. The fruits are going to be very simple. The next life of yours, you're going to be completely a dumb cluck. You want to do that, no? Next life, guaranteed, you're going to be totally a dumb cluck. That's what you want to be. Don't do that. Don't mortify yourself like that. That is why this kind of a thing is written in the Bhagavad Gita. Don't follow any other kind of a thing, which just because some other person say, no, oh, I have to do this, no, I have to do that, I have to sit in this meditation pose for so many days. No, there is no need. Don't mortify your body, don't mortify your mind or your speech also. Don't say anything wrong and bad. All that is tamasic in nature. So we have done today penance. There is a beautiful meaning of this word penance. I hope you have understood the penance of body, speech and mind as recommended by Sri Krishna himself. Do that and you will have Sattva Guna in you. And then you can reach God Almighty through your faith and taking His name. That's all. Alright? So we are stopping here at verse 19. Tomorrow early morning we will be doing verse 20 onwards. And that time we are going to talk about gifts. Alright? So take care. Have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.